Good morning, everybody, and happy Easter, by the way. It's Sunday Easter, so we're not too busy, but it's a beautiful sunny day here in Montreal. So my task this morning, besides removing the framework for the winter cover, I'm going to be actually taking the two port lights off on the starboard and the one on the port side, remove them to reseal the windows as well. So I'm going to be removing those, and I'm going to, well, show you step by step what I do, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So when I'm talking about the port lights, obviously I mean the opening windows on each side of the boat, flip up this way or whatever. So I'm getting some little leaks coming down through here and down through here. As you can see them with their little line there. So I'm going to be removing all of that. This bezel on most boats, but it might be different on yours. This is a Catalina 270. You can just remove these by just popping them, and they're only held by, oh, there you go. They're only held by two Velcro strips. So you see the Velcro strip right there, and there's one, they're all missing, but they're over here. So there's a double-sided one. So I'll be replacing these little Velcro strips. They come off and you just stuck on. So I'll be replacing those. And then I'll be taking just these screws off all over here, and then remove the whole framework and then clean everything out. So, so that's what I'll be doing. So next step will be to unscrew all this. Okay, so I removed the inside bezel. Just a little piece of advice. I always skip one screw. So I took this one off, then I skipped this one, took this one off, skipped that one, and I did the same thing when I was done with those, and I came back and took the ones that were lifting. I'll be doing the same thing when I'm going to be putting the bezel back on, only because you don't want to torque anything. So you want to tighten up each other one, skipping one each time and then slowly tightening it, and you're going to see that later on. So take it. The other thing I want you to note is the bezel is open on the bottom. As you can see, the bottom part is open, and that's the way it's got to go back in, with that opening and the bottom in the window. So a little bit, you know, it sounds crazy, but little things you want to notice and remember. All right. If ever there was a doubt, there it is right there. I can actually see the daylight. See that? And that's exactly the side where it was leaking. So that's what it is. So it's just that I need to reseal that. To remove it, because it's very tight, so I just found a little groove. Slowly I'm going to go around the whole frame very gently, just sort of a little bit at a time, and move my way around until it just pops off by itself. I don't want to force anything. I don't want the frame to bend or anything like that. So I'm just going to take my time. I need both hands though. But you can see where the Butyl, the original Butyl, is coming off over here as well. As you can see right there. See that? Okay, so it's coming off right now. I can basically take this off. Oh, I'm going to close the window a little bit. And there you go. There you go. So now it's been removed. So I got to clean all that. Start with a razor blade and then some acetone to make it all nice and weak. And clean all that up. Yeah, other than that, looks great. And so now I got to clean all this stuff as well. And if I go on the outside, I don't know how good this is going to be, but there it is right there, guys. Okay, so that's what the outside looks like once the window's off. So now I'm just going to use the razor blade and then go around slowly and just remove all of that. This is actually butyl tape that they use. So I have a whole new roll. So that really is moldable. You put it in, as you press it, it becomes sealed. And it always remains a little bit soft. The boat's over 30 years old, and it's still relatively soft, so it was easy to remove. And so it's a good product to have, so I happen to have a roll, and I'm going to use that. So now I'm just going to use my razor blade and start scraping all around slowly, not to dig into the gel coat, and just take my time, remove it all. So I'm not going to film that. That's pretty obvious, right? It's just doing one of these type things, and then just going around and removing everything. And you can figure that one out. And then I'll once I'm all done, nice and clean, I'll get back to filming. Okay, so I just passed the razor blade all along. Listen, guys, with the butyl tape, the nice thing is it always stays. It never hardens. So it was literally this whole run around this whole thing here literally took me like a minute. Seriously. So way better than using, say, a silicone, or somebody did this before, did a sealer or something. That would have been a lot more work. Now all I have to do is put an acetone through here just to clean that up and clean the residue off. Do the same thing on the inside, and I'll be ready to put the butyl tape back on again, the new tape, and just go ahead and install it. Again, my butyl tape will start at the bottom here, go around and then finish here so that the joint will be here. All those butyl tapes, so where the joints, I just have to push it like that and it will make a complete seal and there won't be any joints in that butyl tape. Now the same thing, I use my razor blade. I'm going to go ahead and clean all this up, all the butyl tape off the frame, clean that. That'll be probably a little bit longer because there are some grooves here and all that stuff, so it'll probably take me a little bit longer to do that. I'm also going to use my scraper gently to remove this stuff here. This is years and years of just, you know, all the stuff, the dirt and all that gets stuck between the seal here when the window's closed and the water. So and it doesn't really drain. These things don't really drain really that great, especially if you have the mosquito screen on, so it accumulates the water in there and that just dries up and leaves a stain. So I'm going to clean that off as well. So I just finished cleaning it all off with a razor blade and hot water, and then I ended up cleaning the whole thing with dishwashing soap and this little brush here. Really got into everywhere inside of here, so everything is nice and clean. I'll be able to just dry this and then go ahead and reinstall using butyl tape. At the same time, I cleaned my mosquito screen as well, so we really did a great job. You know, I'll tell you, one of the best dishwashing soaps I like is actually Dawn, because it really does a great job at cleaning everything up. So really, years of dirtiness all gone, and I'm really happy with this job. I actually thought this would take me a couple of hours. Actually, it's only been about 20 minutes, to believe it or not. So, and I'm ready, when this is dry, I'm ready to reinstall it. So I actually might do the other side at the same time, even though that one's not really leaking. So all the edges of the fiberglass have been cleaned. I actually used, I didn't have my acetone with me, so I used Javex actually to clean it. So now I'm going to use this 50% water and alcohol bottle, and I'm going to use that to neutralize the Javex or the bleach, and then also, you know, decontaminate the surface before I apply the butyl tape. There you go. Once it's clean with the alcohol, the water thing, it just dehydrates, or sorry, it evaporates, so the surface is nice and clean. I'll show you what that butyl tape is now. So this is the butyl tape I was telling you about. So B-U-T-Y-L, butyl tape, caulking. Okay, it's butyl caulk behind the sticker here. It says caulking actually. This happens to be a 1 inch thick, so it's a little too much for what I need, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to go ahead and lay it around all around the frame of the window, and then apply it to the window. I'll be able to use the same razor blade around the outside frame to remove the excess, and then when I apply the bezel inside the frame, inside the window frame, as I start screwing it tighter and tighter, every other screw, as you remember, just like you would say when you're putting your tires back on your car, you have to, alternate the lug nut. Well, we'll alternate the screw, and we'll gently make it tighter and tighter and tighter, slowly. That way we don't bend anything or warp anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take this now and apply it to the outside window frame. So I've applied the butyl tape around the edges of where the edge of the original, or the frame was. You could tell where it was. So you just go all the way around. As you can see, the joint here, I was able to connect it, so there is no seam where the butyl tape is, and I was able to round the corners here, so that as I put the frame on, it'll go right in there. It'll hold there while I go inside and start screwing the bezel inside. So let me install the outside part. Okay, so now I just pushed it in. I just put the thing. Now it's just holding just by the stickiness of the butyl tape. Now I'm going to go inside and do the bezel. So I just finished putting all the screws back in. So all the screws are the same length except for two. This one over here and this one over here, which are a little bit longer. And then seriously, it's long because you got to go around many times. I think I must have gone around about 20 times, because every time you tighten a little one, then these ones get a little looser. So you got to go around slowly and putting equal pressure all as you go around until you really feel like it will sit. And I'm going to go outside now and look and see what the bezel looks like onto the fiberglass roof, coach roof, and then we'll see if that's tight enough. But I've got them as tight as I can for now. So I'm going to go outside now. So there you go. So the window is nice and tight the way it should be. So now I'm just going to use a razor blade to remove the excess butyl tape over here, and then I'm pretty much done. Okay, so the window's completely reinstalled, new bezel completely cleaned out. So they're good now. All I have to do is a finishing bezel over here. So I still got to go clean it and make sure it's nice and clean. But I did remove all the original pieces of Velcro, and you can see where they were, of course, and right over there. So now, through the miracle of 3M stickets or whatever they're called, this is actually Velcro. So I'll be able to just, here you go, boom. I'll be able to install these, and these will be the new replacement Velcros. Instead of having them this small, by the way, I'm actually going to make them a little bit bigger. Probably just because it makes more sense. So I'm going to go clean the bezel. I'm going to replace and put these on instead. And then, and that's it. The job's completed. All in all, took me a little bit longer because I'm shooting pictures and videos as well. But really, this job for at least one window, it really took me, I would say, total of maybe 1 hour, and that's maximum. So I could have done both of them. I think I'll do the other one tomorrow, only because now that I know it's so fast and easy, there's no reason for me not to do the other one, although that one's not leaking. But hey, why not do them in the same year so I can put it in the logbook that both of them were reseated in 2025. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful. To note it, some of you probably know how to do this already. I've never done it myself on any of my boats, and I've been sailing for about 40 years now. And but it really was that easy. So don't be shy about changing or removing one of those types of port lights. They're easy to remove, easy to clean. Take your time, and you'll see it's a lot faster than it's. Again, always a sense of accomplishment that you've done it yourself and you know exactly what's inside of that. So when you remove that, you see inside, you can imagine in your head what it is. And it was nice to be able to take it with me in the yacht club kitchen or home, I guess, wherever you want, and do a good job really cleaning it out really nicely. And now you know it's reseated, it's sealed, it's not going to leak anymore, and everything is super clean. So I hope you enjoyed these videos. Remember, please subscribe. Please share with your other boaters as well. I'd appreciate that. And do like this video if you would. Thank you very much. And it is Easter weekend 2025. So happy Easter to everybody, or whatever it is that you celebrate. Enjoy. So there it is, guys, the finished product. So like I said, I used those 3M Velcros, and it fit right in there, nice and solid. And because I used the Velcro from 3M, I made the pieces a little bit bigger than the ones that were there from the original. And I felt that actually it's holding much stronger. So very pleased with the job. Like I said, it's a short job. I know you guys can do it.